You know, everyone talks about belief in self. However, as someone who grew up without a father figure, I've been finding my father figures along the way. And when you meet someone who believes in you, you stay close to that person if they'll let you, because seeing someone else believe in you puts this confidence in you.
Absolutely.
That it's really hard to find yourself.
Welcome to another episode of Creator Method, the Creator Method podcast. There's so much Creator Method stuff around me. There's hats and now t-shirts and all kinds of stuff. I have to remember that it's the podcast. So here we are. So today I'm jumping into it. Today's guest is Courtney Smith, a top producing Midtown Toronto real estate agent known as the Midtown Mom. Courtney has sold over $100 million in real estate, but I think that number is higher now. But what really makes her special
That's
is
just the past 3 years.
That's just the past 3 years.
Yeah.
What makes her special is how intentionally she has built her personal brand alongside her business. She's also one of the most committed members of Creator Method. She shows up to almost every event, every call, asks great questions, and continuously applies what she's learning. Over time, her content has evolved in a meaningful way, not just in terms of followers, but in terms of confidence, clarity, and connection. Courtney has also become a real friend. And today's conversation is about growth, consistency, and what happens when you truly commit to the process. Courtney, what is up?
Can you introduce me everywhere I go? Can I just
You know
bring
what?
you everywhere?
You could. All you have to
That
do
was
is...
such a nice, kind intro.
Well, thank you very much. All you got to do is you got to invite me to more shit. Right?
Are you kidding?
No,
Actually, I have
listen,
an event. I have an event coming up. I really want you to be at. We'll talk after.
All right, we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah.
So I want you to know, like right off the bat, like just seeing you kind of walk in and prep and stuff, I want you to know that the master has become the student.
Really?
Yes, because you're here. You've come with. You have a tripod set up. You've got your Bluetooth mic that you have hooked onto yourself in addition to the two mics.
Situational content. That's
Situational
what my coach says.
Yes. But I want you to know that as of lately, I also have something, and I want to show you what's in my bag.
Ooh, show me what's in your bag.
It's not like that big of a deal.
Sounds like a big deal to me. I'm excited.
But the first thing that's in my bag is, check this out. I have these Bluetooth mics.
I have the same ones.
Do you have the same ones? Let me see.
It, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I got these.
Ones.
So now I
With
carry them.
The charging case? Yes.
So now I carry them wherever I go. So that's the one thing that I have. And then the other thing that I have is I have this.
Yes.
And this is a tripod that looks like a lightsaber.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I don't want to get crude, but there are other tripods that look like something else that as
I've
a man,
been carrying that one for a long time.
I wouldn't carry around as a man.
Yeah.
Those other tripods.
Yeah.
But when I saw this in my feed, this thing literally looks like a lightsaber.
I love it.
And it's got this little piece that comes off, which is like a remote control.
Yeah.
For
can you link that?
For a little. Did you have this on yours?
I do have that, but I don't have the magnet.
So the magnet, okay, let's check this out. Okay,
yes,
so we're getting straight into product review.
We're getting straight
Look at this.
That's what I need. That is what I need.
Bam. So I'm selfieing. I'm
love
selfieing it up. I'm doing like it's all, it's
link
great.
Link that. We need it.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Comment stick for the link below.
Okay. Don't actually, because
there's nothing set up for you.
unless they're gonna be paying us, we're not gonna do that. But in any case, I just wanted to share that with you, that I'm so impressed, and now it's like you're doing it, I'm doing it, and the thing is, you do it for every event. Like when you're at one of our events and you're in the audience, and when you get up, I see already your tripod is pointed at you, so you're creating that content. So that's awesome. So I'm really happy about that.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you.
There's something else before we get into like the whole shebang. There's something else that I want to bring up, and it's not to be like an asshole, and it's not to be rude.
Listen, tear me apart. I love constructive feedback.
Well, this one's not about you. This one's just like something in general. Okay, so I just saw this this post as I was scrolling on Instagram before we got on. And there's breaking news, and I'm not trying to like piss on your parade, but there's breaking news.
Breaking news.
So
Tell me.
Ontario will be the coldest place on earth this week.
I know. Why do you think I'm here?
Yeah, this weekend. No, but listen, this is some crazy shit. This weekend, it will be so cold in some parts of Canada that trees might start exploding. Like, what the hell? There's exploding trees in Canada? I leave Canada for 5 years and everything goes to shit. Flash freezing water inside trees can tear them apart from the inside out. Ontario to be hit with an extreme polar vortex this weekend as temperatures hit minus 50 degrees Celsius on the mid levels.
That's minus 30 for our American friends, Fahrenheit.
Minus 30 Fahrenheit.
Minus 30 Fahrenheit, yeah.
Are you sure? I think it's like minus 1,000 or something. That's just crazy.
Well, I looked up minus 25 Celsius is minus 14 Fahrenheit. Because when I come to the US, I acclimate. I'm
Right.
like, okay, we're speaking Fahrenheit. We're doing miles. Let's go. You know,
You should come to the U.S. more often. The U.S. likes
the
you.
plan. The U.S. loves me. I love the U.S. I love it here. It is such a vibe.
It is.
The second I get here, I'm like, I feel seen. I feel heard. I feel loved. I love it here. You know what it is? I'm a creative person.
Yeah.
I'm loud. I'm colorful. I'm opinionated. I love meeting new people. Like, I'm at the pool meeting everyone. My daughter's out there meeting all the other little kids. Like, we're real social creative creatures.
You're a Miami girl.
I'm a Miami girl.
Like through and through. Yeah, you're a Miami girl.
I actually have a video of my daughter saying, I'm a Miami girl.
Okay.
Unprompted.
All right. I don't want to go to this like dangerous place of like talking to you about you moving to Miami.
I know.
Because I don't know
It's
what
not dangerous.
I don't know like what wrath, like, you know, your husband
He's
or
at a conference right now.
or I know right now, but
Yeah.
he's going to potentially see this of you and I talking about like unearthing your lives and coming to Miami.
Since January 2nd last year when I joined the group
Yeah.
and you and I had a talk about moving from Toronto to Miami,
Yeah.
I've started my campaign. The campaign is midway.
Okay.
The campaign to move to Miami is midway.
All right.
Progress has been made.
Well, listen, when and if it does happen, know that I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Know that, you know, I've got the hookups. I've got attorneys on like speed dial.
Perfect. Realtors. I need some realtor friends.
Yeah. That's the
easy part?
That's easy. We just have to ask Ariel. I mean, Ariel was born here, and so she's been here her whole life. She knows everybody.
I love
so
that.
if we need to know anybody, we've got Ariel.
I love it.
Okay, I want to jump into this podcast and I want to talk about you. I want to go in deep because you've made a lot of progress since joining Creator Method and in general since, you know, just in general in your career as a realtor professionally. And I remember like you and I had this real like defining moment where you were crying, I was crying, and it was on our first video call. Not one-on-one too. It was like our group video call.
I'm a crier.
Yes. And I was like, and it was something along the lines of just like,
we should find that clip.
We should find that clip, but it was something along the lines like you started talking about your story, and then correct me if I'm wrong, and then you kind of expressed maybe some uncertainty in yourself, and I was like, "Are you crazy?
Yes.
Like you're what? After everything you do, like you've done all of these different things." And you're uncertain. So it's like, if you're uncertain of yourself, I should go jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, and then we had that moment. And I think that was like a turning point for you. It was like, oh shit, like I am all that. Like I am that girl. It
really was.
Yeah.
I think people, everyone talks about belief in self. However, as someone who grew up without a father figure, I've been finding my father figures along the way. And when you meet someone who believes in you, you stay close to that person if they'll let you, because seeing someone else believe in you puts this confidence in you.
Absolutely.
That it's really hard to find yourself. You
are so right. You are so right. And I feel that I had a hand in doing this with Valerio. With Valerio 100%. Specifically.
And my husband had a hand in doing it for me. Because like he's like my biggest cheerleader. And without him, I wouldn't be where you know what I mean? So 100%.
Absolutely.
100% you did.
I think for me, it's not like, I don't want people to not feel special because I, potentially, like I find these things and I believe in a lot of people. I think really what my skill is and, what I've developed is finding what it is in each individual, because I believe that each individual, they have something in them, big or small, noticeable or not, that if the spotlight is shown on that characteristic and that is amplified, that's what's empowering. So I think that that's my kind of like, that's my special gift, is that I can find even if there's, seemingly nothing there, I'll find that thing. I'll find that, what's it called? Like something that happened in their life.
It's true. Like it's part of their personal brand story.
Right.
Like their personal, and I think what you're speaking to is really the depths of what a personal brand is. And this is what I've learned definitely over the past year is it's not the font, it's not the color family. It's not, it's how you make people feel. And
as a creator,
yeah, and any personal brand, like
Absolutely.
even offline. So I'm huge online, like not huge, but in my neighborhood. But offline, in person, my personal brand is me, my personality,
Absolutely.
my energy, regardless of what color my business card is, or the fonts, or the sales. It's me, the person. And I think what people underestimate when they're looking for their it factor is they think it's their niche or their topic or their subject matter or the color of their shirt or the font of their whatever. And really, it's their essence. It's who they are as a person.
You're so right. You know what it is? Like, if you consider some of the big names that you follow, people who have built real scale, if you look at what they're doing, they're not doing these generic like edits that, you know, like people are trying to teach you saying, oh, you have to do edits like this and you have to have hooks, and I call it hooks and hacks. So the hooks and hacks method of content creation, it's like generic. Anybody can do it. Like anybody can learn how to edit in a certain way, but not everybody can do kind of what we do with, like, let's say a creator method where we're looking inside and we're looking at the individual and we're developing people. And I think that's the big differentiator, where it's like, think of anybody who you follow. They're not doing this like hooks. They're not, I mean, to a certain degree, maybe they're getting attention in the first few seconds, but you don't follow them because they have cool edits.
Exactly.
You follow them because
they're a real human being.
Well, because they're real, but the shit they're saying has real value.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand, is like everyone's spending, like even today I was doing a one-on-one and the person's asking, okay, so, but if I do the edit like this, like this, like this, and I said, we just talked for like 40 minutes about your real value proposition and how you should develop your communication skills, and you're going back to this like cheap stuff. Don't worry about that. Create 100 videos, like as we discussed, and then we can talk about fine-tuning the edits and the hooks and the hacks. But everybody wants to do that first because they think that's what the key is to success is.
And what I learned earlier in the year, when after 10, 15 years of content creation went viral with the million views and the whatever, but the people, and you warned me, it got a little high on my own supply there, but you warned me that it's fleeting. And those people, I don't know if they're still around, but they're not saying much. But it's the ones who connected with my story. And when I meet someone at a workshop I'm at, and they're like, my mom passed too.
Right. They're not saying you're such
saying,
a great realtor, or your
oh,
edits are awesome.
I love that viral trend you did 6 months ago. They're saying like, oh, my daughter's 4 as well. Or, you know, I grew up in the Morris County catchment. Yeah. Or, right, it's like for my demographic, or for my, you know, niche, it's the relatability of the human experience. Of, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I have kids, I lost my mom. You know, like that but the relational content. Absolutely.
But the viral component has its place. Like I call it top of funnel content.
Totally.
And if 1 in 10 of your, you know, of your reels or whatever content you're making is viral in nature, or you're doing a trend, that'll get you the eyeballs, that'll get you the visibility. And then if those people who come in off of that piece of content, because that piece of content is engineered for high reach, and they come in off of that, and then they see your value proposition, and then they buy into your story, then why do you care how they came in?
I have 2 fun stories for you.
Tell me.
One, I went to a $3.5 million listing presentation in Lawrence Park in Midtown Toronto. And the second the homeowner opened the door, he's like, I follow you on Instagram. I love your stuff. Yeah. And even my boss.
This is the homeowner?
This is the homeowner.
This is somebody else's listing.
No, this is like, we're going on a listing presentation. So they've called Adam.
You're going on a listing presentation to be able to get the listing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so you come in.
Adam and I come in. It was initially they reached out to Adam.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
Adam is your broker, just for everybody to understand.
Yeah. Our team lead. And I'm not sure if he mentioned my name before or during, or if he was just surprised by me being there. There's only 5 of us on the team. But I'd never met him in my life, never seen his face.
Did you close that listing? Not close the deal, but did you get the listing?
TBD, but it's looking very likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They haven't made a decision yet. It was like 3 days ago.
Got it. But how did that conversation go?
Well, it's taking in real estate or in sales talk, it's taking a cold lead. It's making them piping hot.
Yeah.
Not only, so I could have come in an absolute stranger and then I'd have to prove myself from day 0. Instead, he already follows me. He's already watched my content. He already knows who I am. Absolutely. He already knows I sell real estate. And the no like trust factor is already there. So to me, a lot of agents don't see the value in content creation, but I know my conversion is up because it's turning potentially cold leads where we might get the listing because we're number 1 in the neighborhood into like a flaming hot, I know you, I like you, I trust you, I want you to sell my house. And then we've also updated our listing presentation. My account alone, we had 7 million impressions last year.
Yeah.
And why would you want 200 views on your listing video when you could get 10,000, 20,000 views?
Well, it's 2 things. So as a realtor, you're going into that meeting, it's a listing to get that listing, right?
Exactly.
And I've been on that, we've all been on, like I've been on that selling position too, where someone's coming in and trying to convince me that why they should be it. If you were coming, like assuming you and I had never met.
Yeah.
But I had seen your content. Like there's 2 scenarios. I had seen your content before, I'm already warm.
Exactly.
But even if I didn't see your content, when you leave, I go to your Instagram.
Exactly.
I go from like a maybe to a most likely.
Exactly.
So either way you win,
exactly.
right? And that's why it's, that's really important. But in addition to that, if I'm going into your Instagram and I'm considering like everything that, you presented great. Let's say I knew who you were, everything's fine. When I'm thinking about whether I want to list with you, to your point, I'm also taking into consideration she's like a million people will see this listing.
100%.
So it can be just listed in MLS and then everyone's going to see it. But now you're putting real firepower. You're putting like rocket fuel on this listing and it's being seen by so many people. So the probability of getting, multiple offers, a bidding war now goes up.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And then the opposite is true as well. If you're looking to represent a buyer, the opposite is true as well. Like I'm assuming that this person with the reach that she has access to inventory because
off market that you wouldn't have access to
off market. Yeah. Because for me as a buyer, when I have even here, like 3 years ago, we bought the home that we're in now and I have realtors approaching me saying, let me represent you. And I look at their social media and I'm just like, and they're claiming that they have off market because as a buyer, you want off market. Because you feel you're getting something exclusive, you feel you're getting potentially a better deal, you feel you can close fit quickly. Like there's, you're not bidding against the world.
Exactly.
And so when a realtor is making a claim to me, it's like I have off market, and for the most part, I will default to thinking that it's not true. Everybody says it, and then I sign an agreement. They take me to some, and then they don't have any, and it's all just MLS.
Smoke and mirrors,
right? I've done a couple of transactions. However, now when a realtor comes to me and they say I have access to off market, if I'm looking to buy something, I'm going to their Instagram and I'm looking to understand because it's not only the reach, it's also what level of knowledge do you have? Like, are you as networked locally in the market that I'm trying to buy in as you claim to be?
Exactly.
Look, for realtors, the case for content creation is obvious to me. Like it's such a no-brainer.
Which is why I love hanging out with you because it's not obvious in my world.
You don't hang out with me enough. Whatever. I'm not cool enough. I'm not cool enough.
No, you're too cool for me, Gary. Too cool.
I want to tell you a quick story about my dad, and I don't know if you heard this on the last Realtor call.
That.
I think I told you about it. So my dad,
yes.
It's such an analog. It's such an analog explanation about. Like it really takes what you're doing with social media and what realtors in general are able to do with social media. It pulls back, it goes back like 50 years, not 50, like 30 years. And it shows an analog example that really illustrates the current digital example. And so the analog example is my father, who was a realtor, but just to give you some like a frame of reference, he wasn't like a realtor like you. He worked with people who had just come to Canada and he was, they were purchasing homes for like $100,000 back 20, 30 years ago.
I was going to say, that sounds
but
about
these
right.
were like, first homes to the max. This wasn't like first home of somebody who's already like been in like 3 generations in Canada and their families these are like people who just got off, who just came to the country. They don't speak English. They understand like for the first time, they're in a position that they could buy a home in a country that allows it.
Remind me, I'm going to tell you a story on this topic when you're done.
Okay. Yeah. So my dad, he had a bench. He had a bus bench.
Where did you say Bathurst and
it was on Bathurst. It was north.
Bathurst and Wilson.
No, it was north of Steeles.
Okay.
Bathurst, north of Steeles, on the east side.
Okay.
It was a 3-minute walk from the McDonald's I used to work at when I was 14.
Love it.
Right? Yeah. And so he had this thing for 20 years, 25 years. Yeah. He never changed the creative on it. Yeah. It was like, I have it in my head. I wish I could have, maybe I should contact the bench company and see if they have the archive of it. I doubt I would frame it and put it up.
I know.
And he would be standing there in his suit, with his bald head,
Oh, he had a bald head too.
Yeah, sure. Where do you think I got it from?
Yeah, so cute.
And so this bench ad, and I remember that was my first understanding of what like branding is,
Totally.
And I understood the difference between, it made me learn the difference between branding and between closing. And in order to close effectively, you need the branding. Exactly. And I asked him, I said, Papa, why do you have this crazy thing you were paying $2,500 a year for? Why? Yeah. And when I got older, I started thinking about it. I'm like, 20 years, you paid $50,000. Like to me, that was an astronomical number when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he was just like, because every now and then when I run into people, they say, I know you, you're the guy on the bench. And so what I'm trying to say is that very basic analog example of personal branding with literally just an image. No, I think he had something funny there. He said there was some little, I'm trying to remember what it was. Anyways, I don't remember. You know what license plate my dad had?
Tell me.
It was,
God, I love a realtor license plate.
He has a, no, you're going to like this. You're going to like this. It was no. So he drove this like old Buick. My dad would change cars every 25 years. To him, he's like, I'm getting the maximum I can out of every car. Yeah. His license plate in Ontario, personalized plate, was BST space SLR.
Okay.
BST SLR.
Okay.
Bestseller. That was my dad.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
You should get that license plate.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
But here's the funny thing: when I would take that car, on the like the very rare chances that I did, the one time I did, I got into an accident, I messed it up.
No.
But when I would take that car and people would ask me, I would say, "Oh no, it stands for Beast Slayer, BSTSLR."
That's a good mix. That's a good remix.
Beast Slayer.
I love it.
Anyway, so that's an analog example of putting out your personal brand, doing it for a long period of time. And it's not like my dad, like if let's say 6 months would go by and he felt that he didn't get a single lead from that bench or he didn't get recognition from the bench, in his mind, he wasn't like, oh, that's it, I'm stopping.
Exactly.
Whereas a realtor in today, which is funny, in today, you're putting out content, you don't necessarily feel it, but maybe tomorrow someone's going to come and say, oh, I saw you, like in a listing meeting. Oh, I saw you. I'm going to list with you. And it ends up, you make $100,000 commission. They'll quit. My dad didn't quit. He kept that $200 a month expense for decades, right? So he knew enough to keep, because it was still $200. It wasn't a little bit of money for him.
And also, like, we're specifically with real estate, when like, I feel like we get a lot of flack, because you get paid too much, you barely work, and and it's like, okay, in what realm do you work for free?
No, of course. And
put up videography, photography, staging, painting, marketing, and you don't get paid unless the house sells. You're fronting all that money.
Of course.
And if you list 5 places and you sell 3, well, the other 2 didn't sell, and that's just like money spent down the drain. Right?
Not only money, your time, your expertise, your contacts, how much effort you put into it.
Exactly. And the amount of conversations you have to have that are actually, like, so there's this, like, I was talking to my coach for Q1. I have to have 280 conversations, which will lead to something like 80 appointments, which will lead to something like 30 listings, which will lead to something like 20 sales. So it's like, okay, you see, I've sold 2 houses this month. Great, fantastic. Month's not over. I want to sell another one. But do you know how many conversations, meetings, interactions,
of course,
work that I did for $0?
Of course, that's
right?
why.
So I don't have the heart to say this to a client, but it's you're putting yourself out there in any entrepreneurial spirit. Like, it's the life of 1,000 pitches. If you're not selling yourself,
absolutely.
ABC, always be closing, selling, pitching, putting yourself out there for rejection, for to be hung up on, to be left on red. Like, the rejection is constant. But in a way, it's like, in my opinion, everything in life is sales. I got my husband through sales. I sold the hell out of my husband. First of all,
okay, I want to hear the story.
I had the best story ever.
Tell me.
So I went husband shopping. So I made a criteria.
Is there a store for that? Is there like?
I have a method. It's called.
Tell me. Okay.
It's called the Courtney method.
So okay, so I want you to know. I want you to know this is like a whole other like content format. You know what I mean? This could be like it's a whole thing. But please continue.
So single girlies, you're gonna open up a Google Doc. You're gonna make 4 columns. The 4 columns are intrinsic qualities, history, background, nice to haves / aesthetics. Okay. You need to have a minimum of 10 to 20 items in each of those columns. I think mine was 40. I think I had 4 columns, 10 in each thing.
Okay.
I wanted a blonde hair, blue-eyed, 6'1" finance guy whose parents were still married, who has a good relationship with both parents, who has had serious relationships, but nothing questionable. Someone who was well-traveled, well-versed, educated. I like an introvert. That's just me. Reserved, a little mysterious.
You like an introvert, right?
I love an introvert.
Right.
I eat them up. In a party, I'll find an introvert in the corner and be like, hey, what's your name? And they'll be like, oh, please don't talk to me. I'm like, too bad, you're stuck with me now.
Can I please be that introvert at the next party? Please? Can I be that person that you latch onto? I really want this.
But no, I wanted him to be generous and chivalrous and kind and, like misunderstood maybe. And like, I don't know. I wanted a lot of things because it's all about shooting for the stars. And then knowing of that list, how many people meet that criteria? 1%. So then you go on the online dating app. You go on Tinder. At the time it was Tinder. It was 2016. Now it's Hinge, whatever. People are like, do I pay for it? $29 a month? Do you want a husband? Or do you want to be single for the next 10 years, Linda? What do you want? Like, finding your man is not worth $29 a month? Like, get the premium version of ChatGPT while you're at it. Like, come on, let's go. You're going to get the premium version. You're going to swipe 99 times. You're going to swipe left. But that one time, you're going to swipe right. And then in that short list, I had a first date outfit. I wore the same clothes on every first date.
Smart.
It was like a machine. I was just like, all right, we're pumping it out. It's like
How many dates did you have to go on?
1 year, 3 dates a week. So probably like 150 dates.
You know what? You're lucky.
First dates only. I went on like 2 to 3 second dates, but I'll know on my first date. Because I will then, first I do a pre-screening phone call.
How old are you?
36.
Okay, but
I was 26, 27 at the
but
time.
you were single in the era of apps.
Yes.
I
Well,
was
Tinder
single.
was the first app.
No, fair.
Yeah,
but
yes.
I was single in the era of
So
you
how
have
did
to.
you meet Valeria?
Well, hold on a
Russian
second.
banquet
I was
hall.
no. Well, there was an element to that.
Was there a fur coat involved?
Maybe later. And nothing underneath. No. That's not. That's
Valeria.
not. No. That's not true. That's not
Boys,
true.
don't listen.
No. That's not true. Yes. No, but what I'm saying is, you had the apps. You have to go out like Thursday, Friday, Saturday night for a decade.
Well, okay.
And that didn't work. And I ended up meeting Valeria not at a bar.
In my defense, it was very like, people really judged you for using the apps. It was like, ew, you met on online dating. Because this is 10 years ago. Even now, people don't want to be on apps. It's cringe to be on apps. But
is
10
it really?
years ago, yes.
Feels like it's so normal.
I know a lot of my single girlfriends, I don't want to be on the apps. I don't know what to do. It's uncomfortable. I'm like, anything in life worth having is uncomfortable.
Agreed.
Being single is uncomfortable. Pick your uncomfortable. Do you want to be in a happy, loving relationship with the man of your dreams? Or do you want to be like with a cat at home, having a latte at 10 o'clock at night?
I just want to pause for a second and let you know that this agenda has completely gone to shit. Yeah. And
I mean, you knew who you were interviewing.
I knew, but I needed to be safe. And like right now, this laptop in front of me is just like a farce. So I'm going to put the laptop away because there's no point.
We're already going to need a part two. We're going to need a part two. Part two, we can talk about whatever was on the agenda.
I'm thinking like an ongoing series. I'm thinking like, a couple of times a year.
1,000%.
Okay.
I'll be on
it's
anytime.
But it's going to get crazy because that joke that I just made about nothing underneath like a fur coat, I would never make that joke. This is the first time.
Am I getting out of your shell?
Yes, you are. You're getting me out of my shell.
Go, Gary.
As outgoing as I may seem, I'm so cautious when it comes to like any statements I make in public.
Yeah, fair.
But that was a joke for the record. Valeria did not have a fur coat, and
so funny.
Anyways.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly finish, which was
please.
Like, you have to just suffer a little bit, be in a little bit of pain. It's like anything in life. Go to the gym. First time you run, it's gonna hurt. First time you lift a weight, it's gonna hurt. First time you cold plunge, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
First date, they're brutal. Who likes the first date? I'm an extrovert. I don't even like a first date.
Right.
It's brutal, but you gotta get it done. I used to have this like first message, second message, third message, first message. Hey, how was your day? I sent it to every guy. All the 1% that I would message. Second question, that's great. So what are you looking for? I'm looking for something serious. If he says anything other than a wife or something serious, it's an unmatch. Honestly, my goal was to scare them away. Scare them away.
That was your goal.
Yeah.
And the strongest
and
survive.
My poor husband, who was not scared away, he should have run for the hills. I don't know what he was thinking. But to this day, he'll be like, oh, I'm like, you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
Remember the pre-screening qualification questionnaire over the phone before the first date?
So how many dates was it? How many first dates?
It was 1 year, 2 to 3 dates a week. So about 150
That's reasonable.
first dates.
That's reasonable.
And I fine-tuned along the way. It's almost like content creation.
It's totally like content creation.
Fine-tuned along the way. I got really good at the end. When I met my husband, I had gone on a second date with maybe 1 or 2 or 3 other guys. All of them, chef's kiss. On paper, wasn't necessarily, there was some attraction because they were attractive people. They met my list. But then with my husband first date, I was like, he's the one. I'm obsessed. I was in love with him. It was love at first sight. It was love at first date. I went to work the next day and I'm like, guys, I met the one. He's my Prince Charming. And literally the rest was history.
How long did he wait to call you back after the first date?
The next day.
Or you called him back? He called you back.
He texted me to make sure I got home safe that night.
Yeah.
And texted me the next day, when can I take you out again?
Wow.
I was like, I knew it.
Okay, so there was no posturing involved.
The opposite posturing. Well, okay, so when we first had talked on the phone, he's like, are you going to be single in 3 weeks? I'm like, this is such a stupid question.
He said to you?
Yes.
Why would he say?
Exactly. I'm like, oh, great, another weirdo. Because there's lots of internet weirdos. So I'm like, great. I'm writing off in the weirdo. I'm like, I don't know. I've been single for a year probably, but like, I'm not going to hold my breath for you. Like, what are you asking me? And he was like, I'm writing my CFA. Didn't know what a CFA was at the time. It's like a financial designation.
Chartered financial accountant.
Something, yeah. Yes. Or analyst, something. And he's like, Maybe. It's a really hard test. And I'm like, forget you and your tests. And I'm like, yeah, I'll still be around in 3 weeks, thinking like, never hear from that guy again. 3 Saturdays from then, 12 o'clock, he calls me. It's windy in the background. He's like, I'm walking back to my car in the parking lot writing my exam. What's better for you, Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't wait to take you out. I was like, I love him already.
And that was it.
And he was just like, where do you work? Let's go somewhere. Okay, I made reservations at this time. What time do you finish work? Okay, like he was just from day one different than the rest. But honestly, I really think there's someone like that for everyone. It's just, you got to maybe go on 100 first dates.
You're absolutely
You can't
right.
expect excellence. It's like someone who posts their first reel and expects to go viral.
No,
it's like,
of
you've
course.
never done this before. Shoots their first basketball and is like, how come it wasn't a swish or swoosh or whatever it is? It's like, babe, it takes practice.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think, honestly, I'm so grateful I got into sales, because being in sales is a transferable skill that I apply to every component of my life, from dating to friendships to travel to content. Like, I love sales. I am sales. I'm the ultimate sales girl. Like,
You are.
I love sales. I'm selling all the time. I can't even help myself. It's a compulsion.
You absolutely
Let me sell you
are.
this mic.
Like, you know what? And I love this process that you used in order to find your husband, because I believe it serves you in obviously in your career in real estate, having to, you understand that you have to have a certain amount of meetings before you get a listing. You understand you have to have a certain amount of showings before you get a sale. And so you live by that. So you definitely live, you talk
Walk
the
the
walk.
talk?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
walk the talk. So like
Walk the talk, yeah.
you're actually doing it, which is great. And then you're applying it, to content creation. And I also one of the things I really like about you is I feel like you're as confident as you are. You're also humble, that you're constantly learning. Like, you're part of Creator Method. I'm sure there's other things that you do to constantly
Absolutely.
to constantly educate yourself. So I think that's great. I want to talk about content creation a bit too. I want to
100%.
tell me where you're at. I want to understand where you're at. What's working, what's not working.
So 2025 was about finding my voice, path, confidence. And it's one thing to be confident
Sorry,
offline.
2025. 25, okay.
Yeah. That was a very exploratory year for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was about being comfortable actually being myself. Because I truly believe, as long as you're trying to copy someone else's style or do something else or be the most aesthetic or be the most this, or like you said, hooks and hacks,
Yeah.
you're not showing up as yourself. So you're not ever going to find your tribe. And it wasn't, and I am a firm believer in posting. Just post. Is it great? I don't know, but I'm not going to get better. It's like shooting hoops. Now I look at it like a workout. Is every workout a good workout? No. But the more I work out, the better I get at working out,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I'd rather have a bad workout than no workout at all. I'd
love
rather
that.
show up
I
consistently.
love that. I'd rather have a bad workout than no workout at all, because you're completely right. Because I've been more aggressive even the last little while, as I've gotten more organized. Quite frankly, because of Ariel, she's really helped me get organized. And that mental bandwidth is now going into more kind of my artistic endeavors. And so yeah, like to your point, like I'm doing the same thing where
Exactly.
I'm taking the shot, and I don't have a okay. Oh, something I wanted to bring up, something I discovered today, and it's really interesting, is I was talking with somebody and they were saying maybe I should use trial reels to make sure that each video has the highest amount of views as possible.
I don't believe in trial reels.
It's not that I don't believe in them.
Until you're showing up on your feed twice a day, every day, why would you waste your time on trial reels when you don't even have a primary audience?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Until I can produce 14 reels a week, or 14 pieces of
then
content.
what's the point?
Why am I doing these trial reels?
Right.
I want to nurture my existing.
No, but I'll tell you why, because that's not universally true. It's true in your scenario, and I'll tell you why.
Fair.
Because when you're the type of creator that you monetize through brand partnerships, your portfolio, which is your reels, they have to show a certain
consistency.
They have to show a certain mean average of views.
Fair.
And if that mean average is too low, then a potential advertiser is looking at that and saying, I don't want to advertise with this person.
Fair.
So you actually have to have
That makes sense.
you have to have a discrete testing ground where that information isn't made public, and then you can test, and then that when you do post it, it's gonna hit your target in terms of views. So for that, it's useful. However, for realtors in general, they have to completely throw that shit out, because your monetization as a realtor is not based on a brand looking at your account and deciding whether the ad is going to perform. Your monetization is based on reaching as many people as possible. So then it flips, because then what happens is, if let's say on average you get 3,000 views per video and you're scared to try a new format because it might only get 500 views, who cares? Because someone who's looking to potentially either list with you or to buy via you, they don't care about your average view count. However, if you're usually getting 3,000 and you're going to try something new and it only gets 500, it's not that you lost 2,500, you gained 500.
Exactly.
It's a net gain. So when you take...
And I also gained intel.
And you gained intel. Exactly.
Like, okay, you don't want to see more of that. I'll do that once. If it's important to me, I'll do it once in a while.
Absolutely. Yeah. But when you take away that pressure of having to have a high view count for like the kind of like the creators who rely on brands partnering with them, then you're in such a great position, because you can just start throwing stuff as much as you want. And honestly, for me, that's the case. Like
Yeah.
I'll put up stuff and I don't care. Like I showed you, before we started, I showed you, I did a clip on sales,
Yep.
which isn't even like really the main thing that I talk about, but I have a background in it. So I'm going to try it out.
For sure.
Anyway, so I just wanted to point that out, that like for realtors, and this
Yeah.
is more like a PSA for realtors, is
Yeah.
like, post the damn content.
Post.
You more than anybody else.
Exactly.
You more than like an influencer who's trying to get fashion deals.
And this is why, and correct me if I'm wrong, to my knowledge, I might not be accurate, but when I joined Creator Method a year ago, there were no realtors. I think I was pretty kind of cutting edge at that point.
You're
because
probably
a lot
one of the first realtors, if not the first, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of realtors, they don't see value in content. Even when I was actively recruiting.
Such a mistake.
I know. I want you to know, I was actively recruiting everyone I know in Toronto, especially realtors, but everyone to be like, I'm part of this new Creator Method group. It's really innovative. And like, oh, does it have anything to do with real estate? No. How many leads have you gotten? No.
So
it's about.
It's like such
It's like what,
two-dimensional thinking.
What I wish I could have articulated at the time, but I didn't even know myself. I just knew it was going to be worthwhile. And I would say I've 10x my investment. So it's been the best decision ever.
Thank you.
Honestly, I mean that. I renewed. So that like.
Thank you.
Like, right? Like it's like there are lots of memberships to be a part of, but I see value. I've gotten value. I see that I can get more value. So the value's there. And my thermometer is, can I get 10x? That's like what I put something out, I want to give 10x value. When I'm consuming something, I want 10x. And in my opinion, I get 10x value from your membership. So I'm going to continue to sign up. As long as there's value, I'm going to continue to sign up, right?
You know, that's like with anything, right?
Exactly. But I remember at the time being like, get on this. And they didn't get on it. And I was like, oh, I don't see why they don't get it. But now I can say it's like I had first access to an iPod. And they were still using like, I don't even know, VCRs or something, cassettes, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm good with my VCR. And I'm like, but there's this thing called Netflix. And they're like, no, I don't want to pay monthly. I bought my $50 VCR. I want to use my $50 VCR. And I'm like, okay, but where are VCRs now?
Right.
Where are VCRs now?
No, of course.
Right.
Of course.
And so I think like now more than ever, people are finally getting that content creation is media. It's no longer social media. It's media.
Absolutely.
It's everywhere.
Absolutely.
It is the media. Is there still print? Yes. Are there still billboards? Yes. Are there still other modalities, paid ads, whatever? Yes. But organic reach is like the best thing you could possibly invest in.
No, yes.
Organic reach.
Yes,
no, you're right.
Yes,
it's effort and it's money.
So
it's 100% it's effort and money. So if you don't believe in it.
I don't think it's money. I think it can be done for next to nothing. So the difference between what
I guess I mean money as in every hour you're spending content creating, in the realtor's mind, you're not doing realtor activities.
Well, that's why you have to create.
That's how
content.
they think.
That's why you have to create.
Keyword I said they.
No,
me.
I understand. As a realtor, though, that means you have to create content as a documentation of something you're already doing. So there's no like net new use of time.
Yeah.
So for the example that I gave with my dad, and really what the key difference is, like for him, he just gave that $200 a month and it just kept going into perpetuity because it wasn't competing with like interactive social media content. So now the reason why a lot of realtors, they stop or they're inconsistent is because if a realtor, all they had to do was pay a couple of $100 or $1,000 a month for something that was giving them notoriety, which they can do print, they can still do the bench ads and stuff. But this is different. This isn't a money thing. This is a time and skill development and iteration and like real thought. Yeah. And so I just think it's a question of laziness. I think that, and salespeople by their nature are lazy, right? Yep. Myself included. You know, whenever I'm in sales mode, I'm trying to find the easiest way.
I think it's humans in general.
Humans in general are lazy.
Especially entrepreneurs. I mean, there's a reason why 70 to 90% of entrepreneurs, like small businesses, tech startup, restaurants, realtors, they fail in their first few years.
Sure.
The stat is huge just because you don't realize how much work it is.
Well, I think,
and then you don't want to do the work.
I strongly believe that most businesses, that's an interesting stat, and I know it to be true. And I believe that most businesses fail, not because the concept was wrong, it's the execution.
100%.
It's 100% the execution.
Agree.
And so really just to round out this conversation when it comes to like the feasibility of content creation for realtors, I just believe it's probably one of the most applicable cases and just use cases for realtors to do this. I think basically I'm going to make the statement. Yeah. I think if you're a realtor who is not constantly putting content out, I don't mean to be rude. I think you're kind of stupid. Like, no, seriously. Like,
I'm so glad you said it and not me.
Well, no, but I mean, it's like you have this ability to for free.
And I'm gonna take that and say, if you're especially a seller but also a buyer and you're choosing a realtor that's not on social media, you're stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see that.
And if you're like, you're not getting your house the visibility it needs. And in this market, yes, in 2021,
in any market,
you could hiccup and your house would sell. No, in 2021, it was like heyday. You don't actually have to do any work. Everyone was selling real estate.
Yeah.
In this market, in Toronto, 77,000 realtors, give or take, last year, 70% of them sold 0 houses.
Yeah. I often use Ryan Serhant as like a shining example of a realtor doing it correctly. But think about it. Like, look at the listings he gets, right? And the people understand the game, right? I mean, the higher price the property is, you're working off of commission. The larger is the commission. So Ryan has positioned himself in such a way that
smart.
If you look at the listings that he's doing, like he does property tours, he's not doing listings of $2 million homes. His shit is like in Manhattan, $100 million listings in Manhattan.
Million. I got 4
condos,
of them. Yeah, exactly. Right? 4 units.
Right. And
50 mil each.
Correct. Right. And so why? But like if you're a seller in that situation, or we're going deep into real estate, but like if you're a seller in that situation and you've got $100 million property, I don't care how rich you are, it's still $100 million. It's not bullshit money, right? So you're saying to yourself, who am I going to list this with?
Yeah.
Why would anybody with $100 million property in Manhattan specifically, where Ryan is like, that's his market? Why would you list with anybody but him? Because you know that this guy has X amount of millions of followers. He reaches hundreds of millions of people every month. Why would you list with anyone else? Like if I had $100 million property, I wouldn't dream of giving it to anybody but him. I really wouldn't. Like in Manhattan, I wouldn't, like, because that's the guy. He's going to do a property tour and boom, my property is going to be seen by so many people, by so many of the correct people.
And the piece of that as well is you're almost putting pennies in the piggy bank. So I am very bullish on social media, and I've partnered with Adam Weiner, who literally has sold every single house in Midtown and continues to sell every single house in Midtown. Like, he's number one for a reason. You put those two powerhouses together, and I'm helping to add pennies to the piggy bank. Yeah. But once they're in that piggy bank, and I bring to Adam, and I'm like, all right, I have a buyer who budgeted 3.5, wants something in John Wanless or Allenby School District. And he's like, all right, send them this address, send them that address, send them this address. Okay, we can get them this off market. We haven't had that sign yet. So tell them, describe the house, send them the video. Don't get them the address yet. But like, it's like the match made in heaven. He is actually, the other attractive thing about working with him as opposed to the other two top teams, I really like that he's one of the most progressive in social media. Yeah. Like, a lot of the other ones are still doing the in studio. I can see them reading off a teleprompter. There's no personality. It's like, hi, I have 123 Walnut Avenue for sale. Whereas like Adam's walking through new builds, situational content, like he's very progressive for his, like for the space considering. And I found that attractive because I'm hitching my brand to his brand, hopefully for the long term. And I want to ride on someone's coattails that are going in the same direction I'm going on, and not that we're going to have a split of like anti.
I know on that note, I want to cut you off a bit because on that note, I want to correct the way you're thinking, and I also want to give you some tough love.
Tell me.
And Adam's probably going to be pissed off at me, but it's okay.
He's not your boss.
I don't care. So here's what I want to tell you. You made a statement like riding on his coattails. Mm-hmm. If you do what you're doing with content creation and you dial it in even more so than you have and you blow up and you get to the point where you have, I don't like to use followers as a measurement of scale because it really does come down to reach, but I will just in this case to illustrate my point. When you get hundreds of thousands or 1 million plus followers, it'll be reversed. He's going to be like, I'm riding Courtney's coattails to go. No, you laugh, but you will at that point hold the keys to the kingdom. Yeah. You will hold the keys because he's going to understand and everybody else is going to understand. You want a house sold? You want to buy a house? You go to Courtney because Courtney has 1 million followers globally, and she's not just reaching the people in Toronto who want to upgrade their home. She's reaching international buyers. She's reaching So I just want to make that clear to you. And on that note, I want to give you some tough love. Okay. I want to go back to your content. Look, obviously I keep an eye on your content. I want to tell you a couple of things. Tough love. And I know you can take it.
Are you kidding? I want it. Not only do I take it, I want it.
You do not show up enough in my feed. So I see you when I go to your content, when I go to your feed. That is wrong. I follow you. Why is that happening? I'll tell you why it's happening. It's happening because the content you're creating is not compelling enough to get distribution. To get distribution even outside of your followers, but even to your followers. So I want to give you tough love. One of the other things that I noticed is you're not regimented.
Yes.
You're not regimented. Agreed. I want you to pick a damn format. Okay. Because I'm the reason I'm getting animated about it is because we've talked about this before.
Talking head.
I want to
This is my format.
No, but I want you to know something. Like you're strong in this. I'm sitting here talking to you. You're one of the most engaging podcasts that I've ever had.
Really?
Of course. No, but you know.
You're
No, but
make
you
me
and
cry.
listen,
Stop.
you and I connected.
Yeah.
In that video call.
Yeah.
Then you flew to Miami literally for like a Creator Method lunch. You
Yeah.
literally flew to Miami,
Yeah.
and then I invited you, and we went and had cake at Fireman Derek's. Fireman Derek's? Yes.
Yeah.
We went there, we had cake, and because I was just so beside myself that like this was the beginning part, the beginning stages of Creator Method, and I was just so honestly just so flattered that you came all the way just to like sit and have coffee with us.
Aw,
I was like, I want to give you more value, so come and we sat for like 2 hours and we talked.
It was the best.
And so what I want to tell you is that I want you to find like, that's why I'm saying like you have the ability to connect with people quickly and deeply. That quick and deep, like that's a rare thing. So you right now are wasting your talent. And again, it's tough love. I'm telling you like it is. You're wasting your talent.
Yeah.
You have this ability to connect quickly and deeply, and you're not putting it into social media. I'm telling you now, you need to hear this. The person you are in reality is currently not being reflected in your social media. If you do this correctly, and if the person you are, and I'm going to talk about in a second about how to do that, if you do that where you actually put the person you are into your social media, look, you can have guardrails. Like you don't have to start talking about, personal things, or you don't have to overexpose your kids. I'm not suggesting that, but you have to insert who you are actually into your social media in a more meaningful and regimented and disciplined way. And when you do, and you dial that in, your numbers are going to go through the roof. And when that happens, then the control that you have over your career, and quite frankly, the careers of a lot of other people, that is going to be yours. So I want you to come up with a format. First of all, talking heads, absolutely. I want to hear from you, and I want you to use ChatGPT. You know how to do this. You and I have talked about this. We've done this. I want you to go to ChatGPT for opening sentences based on your unique prompt, and I want your prompt to be like this before you press enter. To really talk about the psychology of whatever. I want you to talk about sales. First of all, I want you to talk about sales.
I love sales.
I want you to. I know you do. Loving something and not putting it into your social media is ridiculous.
You're right.
It's goddamn.
Clip that.
Especially.
Clip that.
Especially something like I love motorcycles, and it's in my content, but like motorcycles are just like, they're for fun, they're entertaining. You actually have something that is so useful how to sell. It's criminal of you not to be putting this out at scale. Like I'm cross with you at this point.
All right.
Like I'm mad. I'm mad.
Yeah.
Because so you have this gift with sales. I want to see you doing literally a 30 to 60 second talking head video every single day.
I can do that.
I want you to.
I'm going to do it.
I know you can do it, but I want you to actually do it.
Okay.
So I want a talking head. This isn't high production. This isn't like full glam. This isn't let's get into studio.
Yep.
Start this way. We can fine tune it afterwards on the editing if needed.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll need it.
Yeah.
Jefferson Fisher built.
Exactly.
He built a 6 million person audience, and he's getting all kinds of deals and this and that. When he started with a small law office.
I was just going to say the lawyer guy, yeah.
The lawyer guy, but he sits in his car like this. Hey guys, what's up?
Exactly.
But he's good at what he's saying.
Exactly.
So that proves to me that none of it, like all of this production stuff, there's a certain minimum that you have to have. You can't look like you're in a dungeon or sitting on a toilet.
Exactly.
But you can certainly sit in your car and turn that camera on yourself and talk about something in sales. I just had something, that inspired me about like a conversation I was having with somebody about sales, and I made a 40-second video.
And it was so good. I loved it.
And we'll see. Let's see what the market says, right? I'm going to put it out. Thank you. I want to see that.
Okay.
I want to see you. You don't have to be overly animated because who you are is perfect. Do that every day. The output that you're going to create is going to grow your account in a meaningful way. But not only that, it's also you're going to get better at it. You're going to get better at it sitting in your car and doing it. So you might likely not be as good at it at first. You might even suck. I don't care. Like work through the suck. Like work through it. Make 10, 20, 50, 100 of them. And at the tail end of that, you are going to be just off the hook. If you're not already. Every day, Courtney, please don't leave. Please promise me.
I promise you.
Because I know you have the time.
I do.
As busy as you are.
1,000% of the time.
You have a minute to be like, bam.
100%.
After, especially you get out of a listing thing, like you get out of a listing meeting.
And I'm already buzzing because I love a listing presentation.
Right. You're already buzzing.
Yeah.
And somebody gave you an objection. Now you can talk about how to overcome that objection in an ethical way, talking about about providing value to the client, how to deal with their hesitation, not how to like, I'm going to connive this person, because that's not what you do.
No.
It's like, this is best for this person. Or like, you know, as a salesperson, I felt that this value proposition that I had, even though it's in my benefit for them to buy, I didn't feel it was within their benefit. And so then show the people that you're an ethical person. Say, guys, walk away. Like as a salesperson, walk
100%.
away. Don't sell somebody shit that they don't need.
Exactly.
Because you might have a short-term win, but in the long term,
1000%.
you're gonna fuck yourself, because you're not gonna, you know, you're not creating a good reputation for yourself. Somebody's gonna be unhappy with the purchase. They're gonna have buyer's remorse. My point is, there's so much subject matter.
Exactly.
And if you can't,
so true.
of course,
and that's what I do.
Of course. So how come you're not? Where is it?
Someone was literally on the fence about a $2.8 million. I'm like, then don't buy it. If you're on the fence, don't spend $3 million. You should be like, it's either an enthusiastic yes or it's an absolutely no.
Look at you. What you just said, clip that and send it to Courtney. No. But hear me out.
Yeah.
Clip that and send it to Courtney. And here's why. Because what you just said, imagine the credibility you are earning when you're telling your truth.
So true.
I believed I could close somebody on a $2.8 million sale, but I saw in their eyes that they would not be happy with it. And I talked them out of it. And I didn't get the commission for this one, but you know what? Probably
a client for life.
Probably a client for life. But now what you're doing is,
and a referral partner.
That thing, but that thing that you just did, okay, you got the benefit with that person. You gained their trust by giving up that sale. And by the way, I have realtors who did this with me, and I'll likely list with them again.
Yeah.
But in Toronto, I'll list with you.
Yeah.
But
thank you.
But what I'm saying is that, yes. But what I'm saying is that now you're leaving that meeting after you had that exchange, and now you're putting it out as content, and you're framing it as, look how honest I am. You're framing it, hey, realtors, this is how you should behave.
Exactly.
So now what you're doing is you're getting credibility from other realtors who potentially will make deals with you in the future, and those deals will flow a lot better.
Exactly.
And now what you're doing is you're putting the guard down correctly of somebody who's considering buying, and be like, this woman's gonna not, like, she's working for me. That's my biggest pet peeve with realtors.
We call it commission breath.
It's
like, oh God.
I love that.
Oh no, you should buy. We're like, ah.
Yeah.
I should obviously not buy it. It has a leaky basement. What are you saying?
But that's exactly it. Like for me, that's my biggest fear. You know what I tell people when it comes to real estate, when it comes to realtors, is I remember telling Valeria in certain transactions that we're involved in, I said to her, you know, she's like, well, why didn't you tell your, like, our realtor, our agent, what you felt? Or why didn't you tell our agent what we are actually willing to pay for something?
Can't trust them necessarily.
And I said to her, Valeria, you think that our opponents are the seller and the seller's agent. Our opponents are the seller, the seller's agent, and our own agent. Because our own agent is just trying to close at all costs. So I'm not going to tell our agent what my ceiling is.
You're not going to work with them again, are you?
No, of course not. But what I'm saying is,
they should be on your side.
I think, like, if I think this way, I think a lot of people think this way. Yeah. I'm going back to the content. By you creating this content that I just talked about ethical, how to sell, how to provide value, how to close, how to prospect, how to do everything that's involved in sales, that's going to be huge for you for all parts of your career.
Yeah.
Courtney, I want to see it every day. The other thing I want to see from you every day is I want to see expertise about your neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
You are the Midtown mom. You are the Midtown person.
Yeah.
I want to see, like, I just discovered this new restaurant. This school is great. Here's why this is great. Here's what to do in this neighborhood. Here's what to do when it's minus 50 outside and everyone's freezing their asses off.
Home.
Whatever. Like, here's an interesting thing to do. Right? So you have expertise in multiple fields. You have the sales. You have the expertise about the neighborhood. You have expertise about staging your home. You have so many different. I want you to find your 3 or 4 like fields of expertise, sales being one of them, the market, the direct, like the market, your neighborhood being another, and come up with 2 more. You have them.
I do, yeah.
And create talking heads on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, do your situational content awareness.
Yep.
Which will help you build the human connection.
Yep.
But you're so animated when you speak, even when you're talking about sales, you're establishing the human connection. It's not dry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Please do this.
Okay.
I want to see 3 to 4 talking heads a day, because they only take you a minute. And the beautiful thing about you is you can do the shit in 1 take. You're not a 10-take girl.
I'm not a 10-take girl.
You're not. You can do it like
All
this.
my videographers are like, wow, you're a 1-take wonder. I'm like, thank you. I took pride in that.
All right.
Okay, can you tell me to sell you something? I want to sell you something. You know that, like, sell me this pen? Like, tell me to sell you something.
You serious about this?
1000%. When I'm fired up about sales, and I'm fired up about sales,
All right, hold on
I need
a
to sell
second.
something. So
Hold
give
on a
me an
second.
item, put it on the table, and I'm going to sell it to you. All right. Love it. What is it?
No. I got something better. Give me a
Porsche?
second.
Easy.
I'm
What
gonna-
is it?
I'm going to prepare it because I'm going
Okay.
to challenge you on this one because my
Perfect.
product knowledge on this is strong.
Okay.
Sell me this car key.
Is this a motorcycle? Oh, it's a Porsche.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, Gary Lipovetsky, do you have a vehicle?
I have several.
Okay. Would you like another one?
I don't know. It's more of an emotional decision for me. I don't
Yeah.
need another one,
Yeah.
but you never need another car.
Exactly. So, what do you want your car to say about you?
Nothing. I want it to be just for me. I don't want to project shit.
Oh, I like
I'm
that.
past
Okay.
that stage in my
so
life.
So great. That helps me. So my next question is, how do you want to feel behind the steering wheel of your next vehicle?
How do I want to feel? Okay, so specifically with my next vehicle, if we
Yes.
want to get technical, so I
Yeah.
just purchased a 1989 Porsche 911.
Perfect.
Which is a very analog, it's a 36-year-old car with a manual transmission.
Love it.
I have a Porsche, a modern Porsche,
Okay.
the current generation Porsche, which is
Okay.
a 2020, with a PDK transmission, which is an automatic transmission.
Okay.
But I love the manual on my vintage car so much that I would love the experience of also having a manual in a modern car with a modern transmission. And I currently have the automatic one because I got it because Valeria told me get an automatic so I can drive it too sometimes, but she never drives it. So I would love to get a manual one. That's what I'm contemplating now.
My next question is, what does driving a manual modern car mean to you?
It's
Why is that important to you?
so it's the feeling.
Of?
It's the engagement with the vehicle, the connection between the driver and the vehicle and the road, which I feel on the vintage car, but that's a completely different vibe. And I really want to feel it on the modern car. So what do I want to feel? I want to feel the same euphoria that I have with my classic car with the analog experience, but in a modern, up-to-date car with all modern technology.
Close your eyes. You get in the car of your modern manual Porsche. You start the engine. You put your foot on the clutch, flip the gear stick into first gear, and you just release the clutch ever so gently, and the car starts to move. You flip your foot and you put it on gas, you're gone. How do you feel right now?
I feel like I feel like I actually should go and see what the trade value is for my automatic Porsche.
Sign here.
Done.
It arrives in 2 weeks.
Done. So what I love about that, thank you. What I love about
So
that.
what I was just gonna get at is the specs don't matter. I don't need to know how many horsepower. I don't need to know
No,
color,
no.
because people are buying feelings.
I agree with you.
And I love
I
right in the
tell
beginning,
you-
you either do it for yourself, you do it for someone else. That's the first feeling.
Can I tell you what I loved about what you just did? We started off by you started saying to me, "What do you want it to say about you?" And when I said I don't want it to say anything about me,
Perfect.
because
Pivot.
in reality I'm
Yeah.
not about, I don't care what people think.
Perfect.
This is for me.
Yep.
You instantly pivoted into how do you want it to make you feel, which that was such a correct transition, because as opposed to like being stuck to be like, okay, this is not like, he's not a correct prospect for the item that I'm selling. You established a new need and you pivoted the product. Like you pivoted the entire thing. So kudos to you. Good for
Thank
you.
you. Honestly, I pivoted back to real estate because people buy almost anything, but real estate is no different based on two differentiating reasons. It's what you want it to say about you, what you want other people to think of you, or how you want it to make you feel. And Midtown is no different. You're buying it to say, I live in X neighborhood, or I live in X $1 million home, or you're buying it because it's a block away from your parents' home.
Yeah.
It's the school catchment you grew up in. You want your kids to go to the same school you went to. It's generational. So it's almost always for yourself or for someone else. And that's the first question of anything in sales.
Again, I'm going to go back to being mad at you because your ability to do what you just did, and this is not daily being put out in your content, is you're not only are you depriving yourself of opportunity, but you're depriving people of learning everything that you know how to do. So shame on you, and
love
dial
you,
it in,
Gary.
Courtney.
Yell
And
at me more.
I want to see a change. Courtney, before we finish up, do you have
Okay.
any questions for me about content creation?
Always.
Well,
Whose hand is up at the beginning of every Zoom call at 12:01? Courtney.
I think, okay, let's do this.
I don't even
We
have a
won't-
question. Yeah,
we
no,
won't-
I do.
We won't do any questions, but
Okay.
what I will do is I will say I've given you enough.
You've given me so much value. I do have a
Thank you.
question, though.
Okay, tell me.
You're going to hate my question.
That's well, you never know.
In Canada, specifically Toronto, the landscape, the political landscape, the fabric is very anti-content creation. It's very like,
really?
I want privacy. I don't want to be filmed ever. I'm uncomfortable with people even filming in front of me. It's a big like social faux pas to whip out a tripod. Do I do it anyways? Of course I do. But I'd be lying if I said part of why I come to Miami, part of why I joined Creator Method is to be around people where I'm not the weird one. I've been the weird one for so long.
So what's your question? I acknowledge what you're saying, but what's your question? Thank you for the context.
How do I continue to show up when I am overtly bullied, spoken negatively about, behind my back, to my back, made fun of? People will literally call me about a listing. Oh, can you send me the floor plan? By the way, how's your little blog going?
Okay.
It's like, okay,
so
go away, Linda.
So let's
like the condescending undertone, the eye rolling, the passive aggressive, the like, direct, like, stop doing it. You're wasting your time.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Are your sales up?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the first thing I want to establish is that regardless of all the shit that people are saying, it's
I
working.
actually have a crazy milestone. Can I tell you?
Tell me.
Instagram DM.
Oh, I think you mentioned this on a call.
8 million, or not 8 million. Like what's 8-figure over a $10 million listing? Instagram.
You got
DM.
a $10 million listing through your Instagram.
We don't have it signed yet, but we have a client we're working with who has a home to sell and is looking to buy.
Yeah, and you're going to sign
who's
it.
buying in the 7 figures and selling in the 8 figures. And it came through Instagram DMs. And it was so validating that this level, this caliber client is coming in through Instagram.
You're making me mad at you again. If you take the damn 10 minutes a day to do what I'm telling you to do, that shit's going to be coming in daily. What does your life look like then?
I know.
Courtney, please don't make me come to Toronto
and just do it.
Knock on your door and your husband's going to be, who is this bald?
Oh, he knows who you are. He knows who you are.
Who's this bearded
so Gary
lunatic?
said, he's like, all right, I know. Gary said.
Hear me out. So look, the first thing is it doesn't, to a certain degree, from a practical perspective, if you were telling me that you're losing business as a result, I'd be like, okay, we need to recalibrate. No. That's not the case. You're net up by a meaningful amount.
Yes.
With these with the listings, with everything that you do.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Let's put that aside. So here's the thing. You have such an advantage. You have no idea. You just finished telling me that the culture in Canada, in Toronto, is that it's, people are avert to social media. They're not
100%.
They have an aversion to social
100%.
media. They don't want it. It's it's private. Okay, great. Yeah. But here's the thing. So what that means that the supply and demand in that equation is in your favor. Why? Because what happens is, because there's an aversion of people and other realtors or just anybody in general to create content and put themselves out there, because that aversion exists, what happens is, on the consumption side, people still want to consume. People still want information. People still want to learn about real estate and sales, and they want to see what you're up to, and they want to see your cute moments with your kids. They still want to see that. So you've got this demand on the consumption side, and you have a lack of supply.
Now you're talking my
language. Right. Now you have a lack of supply. You have a lack of supply because of the culture of people. Like, oh, it's cheesy. I don't want to put it out there.
Yeah.
So let people talk. It doesn't matter. You're in a superior position because you're in a community that has a culture of like, I'm not going to produce the supply, and I'm ignoring the fact that there's all this demand. So you're going to be on this side of the table saying, I'll create the supply.
Yeah, literally.
I'll create it.
Literally, me for the past year. Yeah.
Right. But again, I'm cross with you because you're not doing it in a sufficient way. So start doing it.
You're right.
So you're in a great market. And as far as the people talking, let them talk.
Yeah.
Just who cares what they say? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you know what? They're going to talk. You're going to do what we're talking about. You're going to dial shit in. You're going to take advantage of this misbalanced supply and demand scenario, and you're going to start making, I don't know, tens of millions or more of commission dollars per year. Oof. And the people who you work for now are going to be coming to you saying, like, what can we do to retain you? When that happens, believe me, those voices of those little, like, you're so cheesy, you won't give a shit.
It's so
because
true.
When they talk shit about me and Valeria and the fact that I'm 18 years older than her, and they call me a pedophile, they call her a gold digger. Well, because of our age difference. But that's been going on for...
Who the hell cares?
I know. But, so that's been going on for 9 years.
Fair.
So the same way that you just reacted and said, who the hell cares? The same way you just reacted when you heard it from me, just somebody who you care about.
Exactly.
Use that same logic for yourself.
You're
who the hell cares? Because you have to project into the future and be like, I'm looking at the Courtney who's making like tens of millions of dollars a year in commission.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, you can't let you can't let that Courtney down. You can't kill her, meaning you can't permit her not to exist. Because today's Courtney is like, I'm going to listen to these idiots talking shit about me.
Yeah.
That's what I need you to do.
Yeah.
That's the answer to your question.
Thank you.
You're in a great position with that supply and demand misbalance, Courtney.
I love that perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to see you again. Let's talk about doing more of these because I want you back.
I'll be back in Feb. You know, I need to come every month in the winter because Canada's Canada.
Yeah.
So.
Were you at the?
The answer is always, of course. Yes.
No, but were you? We just had it last week. I wasn't there.
I'm going to interrupt you to say yes.
You see how like
if you put it out, I come.
No, but there was a workshop.
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one in New York next week, right?
I know. I'd love to swing it. I don't think I can swing it.
That's okay. If you can't,
Are you gonna be there?
Yeah, this one I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but know that we're now doing like
midday?
we're now doing two or three a month.
Okay. Perfect.
So it's
When's the
on
next
an
summit?
ongoing basis. I don't know. The team is working on it.
Isn't it?
I don't think it's what is it? It's in
I thought
October.
It was March 8th. That's a Miami event.
That's a International Women's Day event.
Okay.
We're doing events. Well, that's it.
Okay, perfect.
We're
I want
leaning
all Miami and Toronto and most New York events, but next Friday I can't.
We're doing London in when? April?
Oh, that's fun.
Not London, Ontario.
Oh, thank God. I'm not going there.
Okay, done. Courtney, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.